it's our responsibility to give back because it's not ours, it's God's, it's the communities, and really doing what we can to immerse lives with other people. We do have a lot that we're blessed with as a country and as a community. If you want more things, you have to appreciate what you have.
Principal investor for Carolina Core FC, building a legacy of greatness on and off the field where champions rise. Megan Oglesby.
Graduated from High Point University, and you moved to Florida afterwards. And then you eventually came back to North Carolina. Did it feel like you were taking a step back when you moved back?
So I actually graduated from Elon for undergrad. And then I went back to High Point University, or I went to High Point University to get my master's 5 years later, which was a wonderful experience. I loved to getting my master's at FMA. It was the right time after working in the real world for 5 years. And it was really great. But so North Carolina is where I was born and raised. My family's here. I graduated from college in 2009, so the economy was not good.
Yeah.
And I took the only job that was offered to me, which was in Florida. And I didn't know a soul, but I went down there. And I quickly realized I always knew that High Point and North Carolina was a special place and that there were special people here and it's a real strong sense of community. I knew that, but I didn't realize how important it was until I moved to Florida, and I didn't have that. And so I was there for a little over a year, and I was like, you know what, I'm too far from family. I want to figure out what my career is going to be, and grow some roots somewhere, and so I decided to move back home.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it seems to have worked out pretty well.
Well, it is funny. Like when you look back at things, we talk about God having a greater plan for you and unanswered prayers and all of that. It's funny to look back at things in my career, and if you look at my resume, it kind of looks like I can't hold a job. But I'm a little bit of an opportunist. Like something comes across my desk, and I feel like I have something I can contribute to it. And the timing feels right. That's really what happened with Carolina Core FC. It was all these things that sort of came together in one. It just felt like it was time for me to move back home and figure out what I was going to do with life. And so looking back at kind of my career trajectory, everything has prepared me for what I'm doing now. And I was actually talking to one of our interns last night. We were grabbing a quick bite to eat in between with some operations stuff. And we were talking about his career path. And he wasn't really sure what he wanted to do. And I sort of chuckled and I said, well, I'm still trying to figure out.
Yeah. Like, I'm in the same boat.
It's just, some people, they know what they want to do and they lean into it. And I'm just one of those people that what I care about deeply is access to opportunity, creating jobs, upward mobility. And so that's really what Carolina Core FC is all about, is helping develop our people, so not just the players. That's a big part of it. That's kind of what you see on TV and all that, but our front office too, and developing them and giving them opportunities, whether it's within our organization or beyond, to improve their quality of life.
And doing all that, I mean, you have to incorporate more generosity into your daily practices, whether it's in business or personally. How can someone start to do that, especially if it's not something they've done in the past?
Yeah, so generosity, I mean, it goes back to something that I was taught when I was younger. And running, like, my mom was a stay-at-home mom, and I have an older brother, and she was very involved in our lives, and we would do volunteer things after school. One of them was the bread hunt, which is what we kind of called it, but we would go to, like, Food Lion, Starbucks, and get day-old pastries and perishable items that they were no longer using and taking to the homeless shelter. Well, that was what my mom had to offer. She had her time, she had her resource of her vehicle, and being with my extra step hand. And so that's what we did. And so I was taught from an early age that you give, we're given a lot of blessings, and we certainly have as family, and it's our responsibility to give back, because it's not ours, it's God's, it's the communities, and really doing what we can to immerse lives with other people.
At Juliant, we're with you at every milestone, and your brightest dreams never have to fade. At Juliant, we help you shine. That's brighter banking. Juliant Federal Credit Union.
having that spiritual belief influence in the approach in your daily life. I mean, according to what the Lord has blessed us with. I mean, that's something I've been trying to do more and more, because it's our duty, it feels like, at some point.
And we really are blessed, though. You think about other situations around the world, and even here in our backyard, we do have a lot that we're blessed with as a country and as a community. And we, if you want more things, you have to appreciate what you have. And one of the things so my dad is no longer with us. He passed away in 2010, but growing up, every prayer that he did always ended with, and help us to help others. And so that was just, again, like part of my upbringing is always making sure that we do what we can, what we have.
Yeah. That's something I'm about to start doing that, because that's good. That's good. I try to, when I pray in the morning, to always say the thanks I'm thankful for. I was going to try to name at least a few, every morning, because you got to start off with gratitude. Yep. In order for anything else to come into your life. But how do you make sure that your compassionate intentions result in real changes? Ensure that you don't become complacent with the status quo in your profession or business.
And it's a really good question. And it's one of those things here. It starts with kind of your attitude and the culture. So here at Carolina Core FC, we always really want to make sure that we are continuing to improve and evolve, and because the game itself is evolving. One of my favorite things about MLS Next Pro is their innovation pillar. They were trying to innovate with the game, and with how you develop players and how you develop front office and all of that. And the business practices, even on the commercial side, there's really cool innovation. But thinking about just in everything we do, how can we improve it? It's just a mentality, and it's something that when we look at an event that we've done, a game, especially how the game was operated, we have a reflection period and everywhere. So before we did our operations last night, we did a meeting earlier today, and one of the charges was, okay, every time you guys see something that either needs to be improved or you have an idea, jot it down. Next week, we're going to have the war room session and just throw everything out. And it's one of those things where it's not personal, right? If one of us had a misstep, it happens. And so owning it, and when we speak to each other about mistakes or improving things, it comes out of a place of respect. And it's not the intention behind it. It's not to call you out and get you in trouble. It's really so we as an organization can improve. And that's something that I believe in deeply, is that we always need to have a level of respect, because everybody that is on our team brings something to the table. And we as a group, is one of my favorite sayings is the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. We together are so much greater because we have this mutual respect. And even last night, we were at the stadium and it's almost 1 a.m. And it's been a long day. Everybody came in early at 8 a.m., had a full work day already. But because of our mutual respect, we were joking around and stuff, but we got the work done. It was late night, but we were all there together and back at it this morning.
Yeah. And that's what you got to do sometimes. I mean, it's this one.
It's the grind, right? It's ebb and flow.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if it's the ebb or if it's the flow. I think it's the flow.
It was very both.
That's right.